Hey everybody, I have a project share for you today. This is the card that I made for Pam, the one and only Grand's Mail for Mommy Challenge. I had posted a video response about this last week. I think this is an awesome challenge. What the premise is that we are creating cards to send to Pam's mother. She is 85, I think she said, and pretty much the only mail that she gets is bills and junk mail and stuff. So the whole point is to create some cards and things to send to her so that she actually gets some happy mail. I think it's a wonderful idea. So I really wanted to participate in that. So what I created, and I'm going to tell you ahead of time, Pam had originally said in her video that her mom really liked yellow roses. And then later on she'd come back in and said that her favorite color was red. Well, I had kind of already started running with the yellow roses thing, so there's not red in this project, but I hope that it'll work anyway. So this is the box on the outside of the card. When I do a card that has a lot of flowers or dimension on it that I'm going to mail, I generally always create a box for it. It just adds a little bit of extra protection for it. So this is a 1-inch deep box. I used this particular paper pad, and this is the My Mind's Eye in Bloom paper pad. This is one of the few paper pads I have that actually has much yellow in it. It's also one of my favorite paper pads. I just love the patterns and stuff on here. So I used that paper just to decorate the top of the box. I used some burlap and lace trim that I had from my work, and I will link that below. Some pearls from my stash. And then just a couple days before this challenge began, I had gone and bought some fabric to make some flowers with. And it just so happened that some of the fabric that I had bought matched this paper so well. So I made this flower to go on top, and it's dimensional, but it's not so dimensional that it's going to really affect the envelope too much. So, because it is going in a padded envelope anyway. So that's the outside of the box. Inside the box is the card. So there is the card. I used, again, that My Mind's Eye in Bloom paper. All of the mats were created with gold poster board, just to add a little bit of gleam and shine to the whole project. The sentiment was stamped onto some vellum with Versamark, and it was heat embossed in gold. And the stamp I used for that sentiment, inside and the outside sentiment, was this Kaisercraft mini clear stamps. This Thinking of You, and then the inside is the Just a Note. I folded that vellum across this yellow panel here, and this yellow panel along the edges of it, rather than doing full-on inking with it, what I did is I took a Prima stamp that I have had for a long time. It was one of those little stamp sets that you could get at Hobby Lobby for like $1 or $2. Has a little floral pattern on it. So I used Memento Desert Sand ink, and I just stamped that little bit of a floral pattern right around the edge. So it's a little bit more subtle than inking would have been on there. I used these pearls from my stash. This Flourish was one that I cut from my Silhouette, and it was heat embossed in white ink, and then I went over the top of it, or not white ink, white embossing powder. And then I went over the top of it again with some pearl embossing powder. The pearl embossing powder does not add a lot of color, so it just adds a really pretty sheen to the top of something. So I wanted that white embossing powder underneath it to actually add the color and a little bit of depth to it. I used Got burlap and lace trim here in the back again. And then these leaves that are kind of poking out, they were all punched with this Martha Stewart leaf branch punch. The daisies, the white and gray daisies, were from a Michaels, one of those dollar packs that they had. The yellow rose is actually I Am Roses. And then the little white roses that are here, they were from a Prima pack, and it was quite a bit older of a pack. I'm not even sure if it's available anymore. The kind of yellow and white roses here that have glitter on them, they were from this Making Memories Dilly Dally set. This was just something I had picked up that was on clearance, and it came in handy. So the corners that I've used here are Martha Stewart mold, and I used those with, I think it was Fimo clay that I did those in. So that is the outside of the card. Inside is just very simply done. Again, the gold mat, a piece of the paper from the collection, and then the sentiment has been heat embossed. So that is the card. For another part of the challenge, and this isn't required, it's just an additional piece, Pam had mentioned several little things that her mom actually really enjoyed as like goodies and treats and stuff. One of those was caramello bars. She likes soft caramel type bars. So I found one of the Cadbury caramello bars, and I just wrapped it with a piece of paper from that same pack. Used the gold poster board to do a scallop circle, another piece of the yellow paper to do the circle on the inside, and then I just created a gray banner that I heat embossed with this stamp right here. It's from Paper Tray Ink, and just heat emboss that in gold again. It says enjoy the moment. So I thought that would be a fun little treat to go with the card. And Pam, thanks for having this challenge. I think this was an awesome idea. I really hope your mom enjoys all of the cards. I've seen some gorgeous ones already. So I hope she really enjoys that, and it really makes her day to be able to get something fun in her mailbox. I encourage everyone to go check out this challenge. It does not take a whole lot of time to make a card, and it really makes a difference in a person's day. So please leave a comment if you'd like, and thanks for watching. Bye.